I'm sorry, I can't remember who said this, but it was one of like the area authorities came to talk to us, and he was telling us how a while back, probably a member of the Quorum of the 12 came to Japan, and he said that the gospel was going to be brought to Asia through Japan. Like Japan would be the doors that would open up to the rest of Asia. And I always thought that was really cool because it was a good indication to me that no, they're not opening China yet, or like no, maybe the rest of Asia isn't quite ready yet because Japan's not ready, which is interesting because like Korea kind of had a wave maybe like back in the 80s of like people getting baptized, and like people in Hong Kong get baptized, people in Taiwan get baptized, but people in Japan don't get baptized as often. And it's a lot harder of a sell for Japanese people than it is for people in Thailand, which I had never thought about that until now, that like every other Asian country is kind of getting on board but Japan. So I thought that was interesting that Japan is really vital to hastening the work in Asia. And like general authorities give a lot of attention to Japan, I feel. Like I think they know that it's a special place, and like my first mission president always said, like, you're in a really special mission and that makes you a special missionary. And so I'm like, well, thank you. But it really is just a really special place. And I'm sure like everyone feels that way about their mission. And maybe my mission is just as special as the missions in Kentucky or, the missions in Spain or whatever, because everyone feels like their mission is special. But like, let's say for argument's sake that Japan really is special, more so than other places. Like I would believe it. Like you can tell with these people, the members, the way they are. They're different than anyone I've ever met in my life, and you can just feel a different kind of spirit from them. A Japanese general authority or member of the Quorum of the 12 is going to be called at some point, because that was said by like Bruce R. McConkie or something like that. He said something about a Japanese general authority or a Japanese Quorum of the 12 apostle. That's what they're called. A lot of people got baptized in Japan probably like 30 years ago, but none of them are active anymore because a lot of people just like randomly got baptized and didn't know what they were doing and like kind of jumped in the font kind of thing. And so there are a lot of less actives in Japan who have never heard of our church. It's kind of funny. I'm like, oh, well, you got baptized. Do you remember that one time you got dunked in some water? No? Okay, well, you'd think you'd remember. Japan is primarily Buddhist. And so because of that, it's really hard for them to conceptualize Christianity, because to them, God is a part of everything. God is everything. God is the water. God is the tree. God is like this camera, like we're God. God is everything. And so it's a huge, like the biggest thing for people isn't, oh yeah, Joseph Smith saw a Heavenly Father in Jesus Christ. It's that there is a Heavenly Father and there is a Jesus Christ. Like once they got that down, like, it always feels like to me in like stateside missions or in like South America, it's really hard for people to get on board with Joseph Smith, right? But in Japan, nobody cares about Joseph Smith. They're like, oh yeah, cool. Because if there is a Heavenly Father, and if he is our loving Heavenly Father who knows us and cares about us, of course he's going to talk to us. Like once they get on board with who Heavenly Father is, it makes sense to them that he would talk to us. And I didn't serve in a mission where Christianity was prevalent in any way, shape, or form, but I wish people in these missions, like the people who are being taught, who are having trouble, would understand that. That doesn't it make sense to you that Heavenly Father loves us, that he is like, he's mindful of us, he's just like our Father, but he's perfect, all these things. So doesn't it make sense that he would talk to you? Doesn't it make sense that he wouldn't leave us in the dark? And that was something I always appreciated about Japanese people, because yes, we taught the first lesson about God as our loving Heavenly Father like 5 times, like before someone could like get on board with it, you know, 5 different angles of God as our loving Heavenly Father. But once they got that down, the rest of it made sense to them. And so I only taught the restoration like a handful of times on my mission, like 3 times maybe, but like God's our loving Heavenly Father every day, all day, every day. And so like, it's kind of nice because you keep the basics, you know, that kind of stuff. And you realize what's really important about what you're teaching, because they can't handle anything but basics, because their culture and their way of thinking is just so different from ours. But it really does. It helps you to remember what's important, and it helps your testimony to grow in the things that really matter.